Here is Barkley. Left side, big hole. Saquon Barkley. Uh-oh! Barkley! Goodbye! Dunk it in. Doncic, 47.
I'll give him a dunk. On a night you have 47 points, you get the benefit of the doubt.
Moss the back, Karras the snap. Moss the block. Burrow going deep. He's got him! Touchdown! Jamar Chase.
LeBron leaked out. They didn't see him. Here he is down court. It's up and in. Will it count? LeBron James at the buzzer. 23-yard completion. Here goes Taylor. With Pierce in front. Touchdown, Colts.
Curry gets free. Curry puts up a three.
Bang! Bang! He ties the game with 6.3 remaining.
Mahomes flushed out again all the way back. Turning the corner. Fires downfield. Caught! Touchdown!
Timeout, SGA. Probing, piercing, spinning, hanging for the lead, and SGA knocks it down with just under a second to go. Hit road. Oh, come on! Justin Jefferson, you gotta be kidding. Makes it look so routine. Greatest catch that never existed in NFL history.
Edwards puts up a three. It's good! Anthony Edwards once again. Edwards electricity here in game 4. Here's a first and goal. And he's signaling as he backpedals to the 30. Oh, what a catch! Touchdown, Baltimore!
Is it Brandon? Giannis says no. Back the other way, Trent. Giannis inside. And both ends.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Matty Ice here with Profit Props. This is the sharp side. As always, we will recap yesterday first. 3-2 overall on stream yesterday. Norman Powell, which was probably my favorite play, became incredibly sweaty when I didn't think it was going to be. He finished with 21 points exactly. We had over 20.5, so quite a sweat there. Davion Mitchell over 6.5 assists. I'm not sure why that line moved against us, but it did. Regardless, we cashed on Davion Smith. And then we missed on Wendell Carter Jr. under 18.5 PRs. I want to say he finished with 23. We missed Jakob Poeltl under 18.5 as well. He finished with 19 PRs. So we lost by the hook there. And then Mikal Bridges over 18.5 points plus assist cashed. He finished with 20. 3-2 overall yesterday. I believe that brings us to about 135.91 on the season, about 35 units of profit. I have to double check that. I might be missing one day. I know Saturday was incredibly awful, our worst day of the season. Sunday we went 1-1. We went 1-1 in the NBA and NFL, I believe. And I believe Monday we went 1-1 as well. So that brings us to year-to-date around 36 units of profit. Yesterday about 0.65 units of profit. I'm going to touch on this very, very, very briefly. Hopefully we don't have to talk about it much. And hopefully we don't have to talk about it again. But since it's happened in back-to-back days, I feel like it's worth addressing. And then I'm going to give my shout-outs to all of my regulars tapping in. I know the lighting's bullshit in here today. My apologies. That should help. Back-to-back days we've caught – I'm not the one that have caught these people. But in back-to-back days, people have been caught photoshopping slips. It seems like it's always FanDuel that's getting photoshopped, and it's always people betting egregious amounts on parlays. Have you ever noticed that? So I would just sit down and ask yourself. Now, listen, I'm not saying I've never thrown 100 on a parlay. Once in a while, sure, I'll do it. And listen, if the person that you're tailing is like incredibly rich or something, maybe it happens. But you got to ask yourself, are these people really betting what they're telling you they're betting? And a lot of times that answer is no. I think we've seen over the last couple days. So I would just encourage you, if you've never seen the name or the face of the person that you're following, if they don't go live, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn because I go live every day and recap every day. I'm not trying to toot my own horn because I think in some form a recap is deserved every single day. I might not always recap on the timeline, but I'm always recapping every day in here, always recapping every day in the Discord. Or if I get a day but two we're behind, it's always recapped, within the next couple. So if the person you're following is never recapping, I think that's the first question you should ask yourself. Why are they never recapping? Because if you're profitable, why wouldn't you? Right? Or if they've never recapped and at the end of the season they say, hey, I'm up 3,000 units. You never saw a recap. There's nothing to compare it versus. So just be careful out there, man. It's a disgusting spot we're in the industry right now. It does definitely affect people like myself who are trying to do this the right way, provide you with actual tools to help you win money. I'm not just throwing shit at the wall. I would probably be a lot farther if I just didn't care and just threw 10 lottos a day, put 9 cents on them, and spec element myself to $1,000 a slip. But I just can't bring myself to lie like that. That shit's crazy to me. So that being said, we're going to keep doing the things the same way we've been doing them. Straights, maybe a lotto. I had a conversation today. I'm not going to lie. I might not know what a lotto is. I guess I never play lottos, to be honest, depending on what your interpretation is. We might have like a couple ladder spots, plus 500, plus 1,000. But I'm not your guy if you want a $5 bet into $1 million. Like, I'm not him. And to be honest, none of us are. Nobody is. I just won't lie about it. So that's my little rant. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. I know y'all are here for winning sports bets. That's what we've been doing all season. That's what we'll continue to do. Let me give my shout outs, though, to the loyal guys. They're in here every day, liking and retweeting, helping me grow the brand. I appreciate each and every one of you. It's crazy. Yesterday, I was talking to my wife, and I can name so many of the regulars off the top of my head now. Shout out to Night Fox, Ross, Biz, Q from Cincy, Miss Herway, M Night, calling the shots. Appreciate all y'all for tapping in. Appreciate all the likes. Appreciate all the retweets. Let's finish up. Reed, appreciate you as well. Let's finish up talking about this drama, talking about this bullshit. And let's get into some winning bets for today. I do have 2 plays out. I'll go ahead and get those up in the banner. Let's go here. No, those are yesterday's. Luka Doncic over 50.5 PRAs. And Chet Holmgren over 17.5 points. And we'll get into each of those, the reasonings why. I was able to go back and watch each of these games because they played each other in the cup earlier. Both went over in the prior matchup. Like the matchup a lot for each of them. Game Point, appreciate you tapping in, bro. Combat Vet, appreciate you tapping in as well. Appreciate the likes and appreciate the retweets. One other thing before I finish up my rant, showing love is free. Likes and retweets are free, and they help me a lot. A lot of people are charging for this shit. And even if I ever do start a Discord, this is going to stay the same. I've got a little Discord right now, closed group, but I really enjoy coming on here and talking about the slate. Hopefully I can get some people on in the future to bounce ideas off of. We've had guests in the past. Where I go makes it hard for a lot of people. They basically got to be in content full time or maybe hit it on a lunch break or something. But I really like going live at noon. I think we get the best of the best mix of you're not too early and you've got an idea of injury news. Obviously late slates are nice as well. Our later streams are nice as well, but you miss the best of it, but you don't get screwed over on some injury news. Dante Brown, appreciate you tapping in, bro. Appreciate the likes and appreciate the retweets from all y'all. All right, getting into today's slate, we'll start with Chet. I ran his over 17.5. He had 23 in the matchup earlier this season. J-Dub did play in that game, and I want to say Hardenstein missed it as well. So I rewatched this game this morning, and when Shea or Chet, Game Point, I got you. I know there's a couple of y'all trying to get in, so I got y'all. When I tried to mix Chet and Shea. When Shea or J-Dub drive, they helped off a lot, they being Phoenix. And in a lot of instances, that was Chet Holmgren being the beneficiary of that. Not only, he did pick and pop. There was definitely plenty of opportunities. I'd like to see his field 3-point attempts. I'd say at least 4 or 5 in the last matchup, just from watching back the game. He had 5, made 2 of them. All of them were really good looks, so I'm not mad at an over 3s. I mean, actually at plus money, I low-key like it a lot. So what happened in that game is they would run the pick and roll, and Phoenix switched guard-to-guard pick and rolls, which I think is interesting, and we'll talk about when we get onto their offensive side of the ball. When they ran a pick and roll with Chet, however, Mark Williams would play. I don't want to say it was a double team, but it was definitely a hard enough hedge that it created an opportunity for Chet to either roll or fade. And it looked like, depending on what set they were in, Chet knew what he wanted to do. So I think it's going to lead to, a lot of open opportunities from him. I do like the threes. I do think the pick and pop will be there. What they would do a lot in the previous game is a high man pick and roll, like with a guard to guard. They would go like Shea pass to J-Dub or a handoff to J-Dub, and then, whichever player had the ball then would come off the pick and roll. That's just going to lead to a lot of opportunity. Now, if they change the defensive game plan, that may change, but I don't think they will. I mean, that was their defensive game plan for Shea, and he still got 37, which will lead us into the next player I want to look at, because Shea's over points I want to bet. But this morning, so full transparency, I bet this at ProfitX this morning, 30.5 minus 05. The reason I did not release it is because I ate up most of the liquidity. I just didn't feel like that was the right move. My hopes, that was the right move to release it when it was only available on an exchange. My hopes are, hopefully while we're on stream, like FanDuel right now is 31.5 minus 128 to the under. My hopes are FanDuel bumps down to 30.5, which then the rest of the market could or should follow. But I'm even more comfortable. This sounds kind of funny because ProfitX is technically in more states, but I'm more comfortable releasing something only at FanDuel because it is the biggest U.S. book. FanDuel, DraftKings, if I can get them both, I'll feel even better. So I'm just waiting on hopefully a drop down, but I did technically, I already ran Shea's over at ProfitX. I just don't feel like it's fair for me to release it when that was the only spot that it was available in. What were his 3-point attempts in the last matchup? He had 5. I don't like his threes as much because it's not like they did not play drop in the last matchup, where I do like Shea versus the drop sometimes. It feels like he's shooting more threes this year. Let me actually fact check that. 3-point attempts this season, 5. Last season, 5.6. No, I'm a little wrong now. Is that just regular season? 5.8. So he's actually down, but in hindsight, that makes some sense too, because his minutes are down. We thought they were good last year. They've played 23 games. I think he's played 8 fourth quarters, maybe. I know there was a stretch. I think he didn't play 15 straight. So take it with a grain of salt. All of these performances are like, look at how many of these. Look at how many of these are sub 30 minutes. It's crazy. I have him projected at 35. Let me confirm that for you. Shea Gilgeous, 34.87. I'll share this tab for a minute. So this is where I have his projection at 39 that's PRs. I'm sorry. 34.87 on the points, lines 31.5. I'm just waiting and hopeful that line goes to 30.5. And if that does, we'll definitely attack that as a unit. As I said, I bet it straight already. I'm just hoping we get a painted number across that. Rebounds and assists, I'll actually have to go to my shit and look. I don't know off the top of my head. I see no edges. I do lean over his threes. My model does. 2 things. It's not a huge edge. It's probably just enough, to be honest, if I liked it. But I don't like the read because the way I think Phoenix is going to defend him might not be the way that they're playing defense on a game-to-game basis. So I'll stay off of everything Shea for now. I bet the points, but I'm hoping the market comes down. We can all bet it at 30.5. That being said, if we get closer to tip-off, I would be comfortable at 31.5. That I just think there's right now, some opportunity we see 30.5. Mark Williams, how did he fare in the last matchup? 13 points, 14 boards. If Booker plays, and this is a big if Booker plays, I think this game is much more competitive than the line. The last time these two teams played, it was a 4-point game. And this is what I will say about Phoenix. They are built to compete with OKC. Now, listen, I'm not saying that they are as good or would beat them in a 7-game series. I'm not saying that at all. So please do not think that's what this is. What I am saying is they can shoot a lot of threes, which is like the only thing OKC might struggle versus. Everyone on the team outside of Mark Williams can shoot the three, especially starting lineup-wise. Dillon Brooks has actually proven to be a really good three-point shooter this year. They've got Grayson Allen. They've got Colin Gillespie. They've got Royce O'Neal. And I think the only way for a team to compete with OKC is, first of all, be able to pack in the paint, right? Then you got to live with their shooters. Not that they have bad shooters. I'm not going to say that they have bad shooters. Now, if you ask me, would I rather have A.J. Mitchell shoot a three than Shea shoot anything? Yes. Would I rather have Lou Dort, who's actually a pretty good three-point shooter? Would I rather have him take a somewhat contested three next to Shea's anything? Yes. Cason Wallace, would I rather? Again, I'm not saying these are bad shooters. It's just, what would you rather live with? I would rather live with the opportunity that the other guys don't get it, and then my team shoots well. And that's what Miami's set up for. Phoenix is honestly set up for that. Honestly, the Lakers are set up for that. And I think that's why you see that trend this year. You've got to increase your variance to beat OKC because they're just the most talented package roster. That being said, I think the Suns can stay in the game. I don't think they have a chance to win. I mean, obviously, any night you have a chance. I think 14.5, if Booker plays, is a little high. What would I make it? Maybe 8.5. Maybe 8.5. Also, I'm interested to see how they play. Are they going to try to play fast? Are they going to try to play slow? Let me go look at what's the team total for Phoenix right now. The game total right now is 225.5. They're 14-point favorites. So quick math tells me, what is this, like 220, 205? Yeah, probably 205, 206. I think they're allowing about that per game on average anyways. So Mark Williams, I actually do like – I like his rebounds, and I like his points if Booker goes. On the OKC side of the ball, you will see – I wouldn't call it a drop by Chet, but it's also not a super hard hedge off the pick and roll. And then guard-to-guards last game specifically, you saw a lot of switches. I think we'll see that again today. Maybe not like it. If you have Dillon Brooks and the switch is, Grayson Allen, Colin Gillespie, I'm probably not. I don't want to switch that. So I am interested to see how they play this today. And I am interested to see. I lean Booker goes, but again, until we know more, I'm probably not betting anything on Mark Williams. What did Gillespie do in the last matchup? 24 points, 6 threes. Let me go look at some shit here. There was no Grayson Allen in that game. So obviously Gillespie benefited from that. I still think, which the line is, okay, hold on. Pardon me. Let's shop this line. NBA player props, threes. We've got hold on a second. I am going to run this over 2.5 minus 120 at MGM. That's auto bet. 130 at Hard Rock is good to go as well. 135 at Bookmaker is good to go as well. I would stay at those. One second here, fellas. My apologies, but I got to get this in. I'm betting the over at MGM. All right, now let me get this out. My apologies. Definitely go get that right now. Run, don't walk. Run, don't walk. Run, don't walk. Now I'm going to shop around for you because a lot of times books will be slow to move on these alts, so there's probably still alts available. Colin. Okay, Hard Rock's alternate price right now is better than their real price. If you missed it, go bet their alt price. And that's going to be the best of it. So, all right, cool deal. Let me add that to the banner. Almost just put that as 25 3-pointers made. I do not think he's breaking the record tonight. Moving on from Gillespie, let's talk about Brooks. And I'm going to give you thoughts. I cannot give you anything until I know. Yo, bro, any way you can look at Fox numbers versus Lakers, absolutely will. I have plenty of thoughts there. Dylan Brooks. Okay, yeah, my Dylan Brooks thoughts are this. Let's wait until Devin Booker is announced in. If Booker goes, I'm actually really going to like one second here. If Booker does go, I'm gonna like Dylan Brooks over points, threes. I think with Devin Booker there, him not being like primary focal point from the defense, he'll benefit well. If he is the primary focal point versus this defense, he's going to be in trouble. So waiting to know more about Devin Booker before I attack anything there. Keep in mind, Grayson Allen did miss that last game. But I still think Royce is in for 28 minutes or so. Let's look into Royce a little bit. I don't want to take a bunch of overs versus OKC. Although I do think the Suns lineup will be shorter. Because this is like as playoff atmosphere as you're going to get from in the regular season. Royce O'Neal. As I said, OKC, like the one spot they struggle, spot up, 23rd. I like the 8.5. I don't think I have him. I do have him in the starting lineup. Wow. Disregard what I'm saying. I only have him at about 7.5 right now. Now, if we go no Booker, it's not a huge edge, really. And here's something that I am working on my tool. And it's just tough, like, because obviously Dylan Brooks' line will go up without Devin Booker because the volume will go up. That's just true. But sometimes being the main defensive focus can hurt you, obviously. So, that's Dylan Brooks is tricky in this game because of that. I will say I woke up, rolled out of bed, looked at the matchups and said, damn, Devin Booker's going under for sure. And then I rewatched the game and I said, for sure. And then I looked at his number and thought, damn, Books already know. Which, I mean, he's gone under this line in 6 of his last 10. Dealing with somewhat of an injury. I thought we would get like 24.5, 25.5, and I was nuking that under. 21.5, I honestly think this is just a good price. It is trending down, and I think I have him at 17. Yeah, that's because he hasn't played in 7 days. 21.5. Yeah, I'm not running the over. I would stay far away from that over. So my Devin Booker thoughts are under, if anything, points specifically. What were his assists in the last matchup? He had 6. That line is honestly probably pretty efficient as well. So nothing for me on Devin Booker. Grayson Allen, as I said, missed the last matchup. 63% hit rate on the season. That's his assists. I know they're not good versus spot up, but this line for Grayson Allen feels a little high. That being said, I do think he'll have some. I feel like Phoenix is coming into this game telling their guys that can shoot, hey, we need you. You're open, shoot the ball. Like that's what this team's built for. A lot of shooters, so if you're open, shoot it. Even though it's like a playoff-like atmosphere, I do think we'll see good pace out of Phoenix in this one. I do think so. All right, let me just pop through the model, see if any of these other players I have anything on. Ayton, Sengun, Gobert, Klingon, Okongwu, if they were healthy, Davis, over versus OKC. He had 19 rebound chances and just 7 conversion. That's pretty wild. Even these 8.5s, I do lean over Mark Williams rebounds. Yeah, and Phoenix is built for that. I do lean over, but I'm not going to play it. I do lean it, though. Dylan Brooks, I want to wait on. I'll probably run Mark Williams PR over if Booker goes, to be honest. I didn't talk about J-Dub at all. Let me run through the numbers here. Points, nothing. Threes, under. Rebounds, slight over. There's a slight RA overlook here for J-Dub. Let's talk about that some more. Jalen Williams. Not that Jalen Williams. This Jalen Williams. I can't get there. Model leans over, especially the 10.5, but I think there's only one book. Yeah, just the softer outs. 11.5 is the right number. I probably just didn't get to this early enough. Any insight on Chet Altline? I love Chet at that. I mean, I ran Chet straight 17.5, so I love Chet at 14.5. Jaden Daniels ruled out. Is that all the news? I think that's all the news. Yeah, that's it. All right. Yeah, exactly. If Booker plays, all right, yeah, J-Dub lean over RAs, but I'm not going to get to it. I don't think. I mean, obviously with OKC, there's a blowout risk every fucking game. But if I had to put my money on it, I think they win by less than 10. That's what I'll say. I think they win. I think they win by less than 10. All right, that's really all I got for this game. Let's move on into the Lakers game. Shout outs to my Lakers. Spurs versus Lakers. I ran Luka PRAs. Ran it at 50.5. 51 and 52.5 are now out there. Do I still like it? I definitely still like it at 51.5. I make this number 54.24. I don't think I've got to talk about it too much. First, in the matchup this season, Wembanyama played in this game. Keep in mind, that's going to eat up a bunch of rebounds. He's also a much better pick-and-roll defender than Luke Cornett. Luka was able to get 57 in that game. Now, you take no Wembanyama, so they're going to be even more susceptible to the pick-and-roll. There's going to be more rebounds to go around. I don't think the LeBron impact is crazy. Luka's number one. Said and done, okay? And then Braun and Reeves can decide who's the second guy on any given night. Luka's going to shoot 20. Let's go look at his volume with and without LeBron. I'm going to say there's next to no fall off. We've done this a few times now. With LeBron this season, averaging 10 threes per game, okay? Without LeBron, 11.1. Threes are down a little bit. A field goal attempts, 22.5. Averaging more field goal attempts per game with LeBron this season. Usage percentage with LeBron on the floor, 41.2. Without 37.8. So there's going to be no fall off from usage or volume from Luka here. Line was just crazy. Shout out to the books for giving us a free square last night. Moving on, let's just go player by player. I think I saw Wemby is officially out, so we don't need to really look into the Wemby lines. I know there was some hope that he could play today, but he's officially out, which will lead me into my next play. I do lean over for Ayton's PRs. Let's go here. Let's go here. Props Kitchen, appreciate you tapping in, bro. Rebounds, definitely. Points, not as much. I might just go boards here, but I definitely lean over. Let's go to the market. Where do I have it up over here? Let's go rebounds.
Tristan.
PRs. We can take this Utah game out the mix. So we'll talk more about Fox, but what worries me about Fox, no Wemby, is how the Lakers play defense. And we'll touch on that when I get to Fox. Ayton, am I running the PRs right now? PRs. 32 with Wemby. Now he's going up versus Luke Cornett. Oh, props.cash mobile. Defense ranking last 5, 30th, last 10, 26th. He's scoring all of his points from inside the... I know he does hit a couple middies and shit. Oh, and would you look at that? 88% hit rate when Luka hits his PRAs. I'd be damn. What about the PRs, though? What about the PRs? Shout-outs to the props.cash correlation tool. Yep, same shit. $25th versus cut. I think I gotta run it. Do I run the rebounds or the PRs or just the points? And maybe it's just the points. To hit a 22.5, I'd have to be at 13 and 10. Really no fear of anyone on the Spurs side of the ball playing Ayton off of the floor. Really no fear there. I'm going to go just points, 13.5. I'm going to go just points. Looks like I'm going to go. Novig's got an 05. MGM's got a 110. Caesar's got a 113. DK 112. I mean, FanDuel's 118. So wherever you want to play, everywhere is good. 7 shots. Oh, yeah, you only got to make 7 shots. Yeah. Good call. Where am I going to play this? MGM. Got it in. I got it in. Let me add it to the banner. What about Gillespie under 4.5 assists? I'll circle back to that game. I think I would really want to know about Book first. When it gets quiet, you know I'm thinking. Hold on, let me go to my model here. This is super Booker dependent. I will say that, like incredibly Booker dependent. $3.9. I mean, yeah, kind of. Desmond D, appreciate you tapping in. Appreciate the likes and the retweets, bro. Appreciate y'all tapping in. Appreciate y'all tapping in. Yeah. Yes, I do. But here's what I can do. So let me close this now. Let me run this now. Here. Give me a second. Let me do some digging, possibly. If I like it without Booker, I'll run it. So I got to go to the Suns. Let's go no Booker. So I think that's a little low. I might run Gillespie's under his assists right now. FanDuel still there? Log back in. NBA. Suns. Assists. Over under. I just ran it for 1 unit, not to win one. You know what? Fuck it. I took it to win 1 unit. Bang, bang. Got that one in. Good call, bro. Good call, bro. I like that. I like that a lot. Good call. Good call. Good call. All right, let's get back to the Lakers game. Talked about Luka. Fox is next on our list. Let's talk about De'Aaron Fox. So the Lakers love to box in the paint. He's definitely the primary scorer here. I'm going to say my model likes it, and I'm afraid of it if I'm going to have to guess here. 24.13 for me. So I am just over, and thankfully I don't think there's enough edge to bet either way. But I would say my model does lean over, but I would premise that by saying the Lakers love to pack in the paint versus primary scorers. You took it on FanDuel? Yeah, I just ran it on FanDuel myself. Good looking out. Fox RAs offers a more interesting opportunity, in my opinion. Now, Castle is back, but I've spoke on this in prior streams. His assists have actually looked damn good playing next to Castle. Just this season, last 3 especially, yeah. And I think it's 3 out of 4 without Wemby and with Castle, 2 for 2 without Wemby and with Castle. So would lean over Fox assists here more than anything. Would lean over Fox assists in this game more than anything. Nothing actually officially from me, though. Castle, only 23 minutes in that last game, coming off of a day's rest. Could play good minutes today, could also not. So I don't know what to expect. And when I say good minutes, I like 28 to 32 is maybe possible. Probably a little more on the conservative side, though, for 25 to 27. Got a bunch of attempts the last game. His usage was really high at 36%. I can't remember, but I want to say they still brought him off the bench last game. Don't quote me on that, though. Damn. Yeah, I can't remember. No opinions here on Vassell. I think you see more minutes than 24 minutes, so that's about all I have. Rui, how did he do in the last matchup? 15 points, 2 threes. Oh, we're getting even money. I'm about to bet this shit. I don't know what the hell I'm looking at right now. Who are they starting at the 4? That's my other computer. Hold on. Harrison Barnes. Devin Vassell will be the 3. I guess Barnes can close out well. That's what I'm saying. And then Steele, nah, dog. I think I'm on the other side of that. Oh, very small edge. I make it 7.03. So yes, very, very small edge. I'm under on Cornette's points. Very small edge to his over rebounds. Not enough for me to run it, but I would lean over. Yeah, a lot of people are asking about Rui's threes. Yeah, Rui's threes look nice. I don't love the volume. Like there's some 2s and 3s here. I don't love that. Utah short minutes, Philly short minutes. I don't think we see short minutes tonight. So, I mean, does that change the perspective? A little bit. 4 is like just enough. 7 and 8 is great. NBA underdog news. Oh, never mind. Bonus cash giveaway. Is that all that was? Carter Bryant, questionable. Who cares? All right, yeah, no, I'm caught up. My apologies. I think I'll just leave this as a lean for now. The volume is sketched exactly what I'm thinking. But I do lean over. Like if I had to bet on this, I'm on the over 10 times out of 10. Projection 2.36. That might be enough to say I just got to bet it. $32 minutes, 10 field goal attempts. How do I feel about those 2 things? I don't think 32 minutes is wrong. I don't think 10 field goal attempts is wrong. Rui Hachimura, are we running the 3s? Rui Hachimura, are we running the 3s? 11.5 flash the dawn. Don't hate his points over either. Don't hate his points over either. I mean, low key, those might go 10.5. most books are really juiced to that under, so there's a chance it even falls. Thinking 11.5 might be the move. Yeah. No, I agree with you. 11.5, 130 at FanDuel. Like, I wouldn't be super shocked if we saw a 10.5 before tip. I wish Props.Cash had a little like a cup game filter in here. I'd love to know. Now, that last matchup was a cup game, and he played 34 minutes. I want to say that was no Braun. Yeah, that was no Braun, but even in the last 10 competitive games, 36 last game, 35, 33, 36. I've got him at 32. Damn, this one's close. Let's keep going, and I'll probably come back to this at the end of stream. Let's keep going. I'll come back to him at the end of stream. Jake LaRavia, nothing. Harrison Barnes. So no Wemby. Castle's back. 14 in the last matchup versus the Lakers. 4 threes, which makes a lot of sense because of how the Lakers defend. If you look at this line and you look at his last 10 and you're like, that line's crazy, it's because they're going to – Turk, appreciate you tapping in, bro. Appreciate all the likes. Appreciate all the retweets. If y'all are watching on X and haven't already, man, drop a like, drop a retweet. Help me go to brand. I appreciate all y'all. No Limit, I appreciate you tapping in as well. Bets, I appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. Appreciate the likes and the retweets. Yeah, no, the line actually makes sense on Barnes. The last 10 doesn't look good, but I do expect – and this correlates very well with a someone had mentioned a Fox RA. If you're running that, like, this is like a good pair. Like, the correlation's there. So I like Barnes overs if I had to bet it, but my model doesn't. I'm not going to bet it, but I lean that way. LeBron. Under PRs over assists is how my model leans. And again, I think I got to watch a few more Lakers games. Like, got to watch a few more games with Bron. It's not – I think he can still go do it on a night-to-night basis, but the grind of an 82-game season – like, I feel like we get one of the best versions of Bron that we're going to get all season tonight because it's a cup game, right? Oh, shit, that shit is bright as fuck. So I think we get, like, the best version of LeBron tonight. On a night-to-night basis, 18.5 is probably fair. I would actually lean over the – even though my model leans under, I would lean over the points in a game like tonight. My model also likes the assists a lot. I just don't know, right? He's 41 years old. I just don't know. Model leans over assists, under PRs. I'm going to approach this game with no positions on LeBron, just a fan, Lakers fan, watching in terms of watching LeBron. Reeves, 23. We did see him very much struggle last game. BJ Edgecombe played well on him. Honestly, everyone that spent minutes on him played him fairly decently. He couldn't get it going. That's why you saw LeBron go crazy, especially in the fourth. What were his assists that game? Three versus OKC. Yeah, threes versus OKC. Yes, absolutely. That's what we've been talking. That's what we talked about in the Suns game. That's why I took Colin Gillespie's over 2.5 3-pointers made as well. It's hard to spot, and I want to see if Booker plays. But I do like all of the shooters basically for Phoenix. That's the only way they have to compete. But the lines are a little high, maybe outside of Royce O'Neal. Gillespie was climbing, and Dylan Brooks was fairly high. And then Grayson Allen was ridiculous on his threes. Let's go to the model, see what it says for Reeves. Looking through it, like, with LeBron, Model certainly likes the PAs. What do I make his usage percentage? 28%. What do we think about that? It was 23 in the last game. $24 this season. That helps me get to a more realistic number. How many field goal attempts is he averaging? What do I think about Reeves under assists? I don't know. Model leans over, but I would lean under. So that gives me nothing. Reeves assists. Looks juice to the over. If you wanted to bet it, you'd probably get a better price closer to tip-off. But I would lean under. Like, in my heart, I would lean under here without a doubt. I mean, under in 6 straight with both of them playing. Only reason I'm not betting this yet is I think there's a chance that goes 5.5. 1 second here.
Jespo, FaceTime.
That was the fam. Had to make sure everything was good back home. We're all good. Jose, appreciate you tapping in, bro. Appreciate the likes and the retweets. I appreciate all y'all for real. Reeves, I definitely want to run this under. But Pinnacle just bumped up even higher on their over. Bro, I'm going to wait. I'm trying to run this at under 5.5 assists. I'm trying to run this under 5.5. I'm going to be patient and try to run this at under 5.5. Assists allowed 16th, right in the middle of the pack. Yeah, let me just wait around on this Reeves line. Vassell, I've admittedly said, like, I have a hard time spotting so they're so deep, right? They've got Harper, who plays well, Castle, who plays well, Fox, who plays well, and Vassell, Castle, Fox, and Harper. Yeah, like, they've got a lot of guards that can play really well. What do I think? Like, it looks like his minutes are coming down as Castle's come up. Now, let's just say when Castle was healthy, what were his minutes? But then when Castle was healthy in the beginning of the year, Fox was out, if you remember that. So seeing all 4 of these guards playing at the same time, we don't have I've never seen Reeves assist at 5.5 books be sharp. Yeah, the over for sure not. Vassell, I just don't know how to place these guards for real. Don't know how to place these guards for real. Especially, well, see, when Castle was out, Fox's points were printing for us. Like, I gotta admit that. But now that they're a unit, and this game specifically, I think is most difficult for Fox because of the way the Lakers play defense. They try to contain your main scorer, but not only that, they try to really block down the paint and allow you to. And I've bitched about this. If you know, you know. I'm a Lakers fan, and I've bitched about the way they play defense. I don't know, like. As I've said, J.J. Redick is smarter than me. I won't pretend I'm smarter than J.J. Redick. I trust J.J. Redick as being the head coach of my favorite team. Every once in a while, I will question what he's doing, as we all do our favorite team's coach. But all in all, he's a great coach. He's smarter than me. I trust him. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that defensive scheme, especially going into the playoffs. That's true. They're definitely thinner at that 4 and 5 even right now without and the thing is like when Jackson Hayes is playing, they can probably get away with going a little smaller. So that's an angle as well. But, you know, at the end of the day, nothing for Vassell, nothing for Harper. I will say I do like Luka's triple-double as well without that's 320. I do like Luka's triple-double without Wemby in there. I think the rebounds will open up. I would love to see it, bro. I would love to see Bron go crazy tonight. He's coming off a couple days rest in a game that means something, so I won't say it's impossible. Yeah, Luka triple-double, kind of a long shot look. Actually, I think Fox double-double is a little bit of like a decent long shot look as well. Yeah. Maxey had 9 assists. Harden, and I'm thinking now of play people who they're going to like focus on. George 8. Fox assists over looks good. I kind of like the sprinkle on a Fox double-double, Luka triple-double. Or I could be completely wrong and Bron gets a double-double tonight off of 15 points and 11 assists. I could see that as well. Any long shot looks in the Phoenix game? Gillespie 5+ threes. Could take a little shot on Gillespie 5+ threes. Has Shay's line moved since we've been on stream? I did say I wanted to bet that. I already bet it, but I wanted to release it at a reasonable number. They're trying. They're trying to go down. 128 to the under. Just go 30.5. Just go 30.5. I'll release it. I did bet Shay's over, but it was only available at an exchange. That's why I didn't release it. I'm hoping to see a better number. Yeah, Fox plus 700. I do really like that as a double-double look. We might wrap it up here. Gonna open up the floor. Anybody have any likes or any likes? Anybody have any requests? If you're feeling generous, though, drop a like, drop a retweet. I appreciate y'all. Oh, yeah, I wanted to ask you about the bill they passed for this gambling shit. Yeah, bro, it's not good. It's really not good. I mean, if I'm going to be 1,000% honest here, it's the reason I'm working on building a website that I can sell my data for. And if 99.9% of the people that listen to this will have no effect on you. Now, if you do make over $5,000 per year gambling, there is a bill passed right now, and they're working very hard. There are some members in Congress, and I'm doing a disservice by not mentioning their names, but I just can't remember them off the top of my head. I will say the one is a senator in Nevada, and I do believe that some type of Senate or House of Representative from New Jersey has a similar bill. But here's what's happened, and this definitely affects me. If you make over $5,000 per year, well, first of all, it affects me even more because as a gambling professional, let's say I'm just throwing out numbers, $100,000 a year. I can write off my odd screen, certain things that help me, like make me a professional gambler, right? Like I'd be a liar if I said I could do it without like an odd screen. And there's just other expenses that go into doing this professionally. Well, I used to be able to not only write off all of my losses, but also my fees, right? The new law and the way I file taxes, let me just give an example. Let me not even say me, professional gamblers in general. Let's say to make $100,000, you might have to bet $2.1 million. You know what I mean? And you win 2.2 million, but you also lost 2.1. So you only net 100K there, right? Well, in the new bill, and again, 2.1 million sounds like a lot, but if you have 10 bets a day at $600, you know what I mean? It adds up. You would only be able to write off 200 or 90% of that 2.1 million. Now let me do quick and dirty math. Now, in the eyes of the government, instead of making $100,000, I made like $210,000, and now I'm paying taxes on $210,000, and then that's not even like by the time I pay my tax bill, I've got nothing left. So it's a big issue, very big issue. Flash the dawn. We're hoping, we're praying, they're pushing to get this fixed, but there's 25 days left in this year. It's going to be hard to get it done, especially now with holidays and shit. So it's a big concern for me, for everyone in the industry. There's also like, now we have prediction markets. Are prediction markets considered gambling? That's a whole question because you're actually trading. And then there's another workaround where this is not legal advice. This is not. I heard other legal experts speaking on the best way you could approach this is treat every day as a session like they do in poker. And you got to track your win-loss from that day. And then I believe you were able to itemize things from there. But it's going to be very confusing. I don't have legal advice from you. I would say if you make more than $5,000 per year gambling, wait until the end of this year, because that being said, this year doesn't matter. This year is the old tax bracket. So everything this year, you're safe. Next year, and I would have this conversation start January 1, because it's probably going to be different state to state maybe. Ask your legal representation what the laws are currently. It is their job to know. It's my job to know, so that's what I'm going to do. January 1st, I will be contacting my accountant, and I'm saying, hey, like, what the hell do I have to do to continue to do what I do, right? So I know y'all are here for picks and winning, but if you're going to stay around and you're going to be in here, fuck, I'm up 40 units on the season. $100 better tailing me right now has almost qualified for gambling tax, right? And that might be the biggest downside of tailing me. You're going to win money. No, the biggest downside is your accounts could get limited. That is it. And if you tail in the short term, there's obviously a possibility to lose. I'm not saying that I win every bet, please. So there's that. But what I will say is, yeah, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. And if you're making more than 5,000, it's something you should definitely know about, consider, and things like that. What do you do about getting limited on sports books? I'm limited on everyone except for FanDuel. This is a state-by-state basis, and I would, unfortunately, I don't know what state you're in, and I'm not going to speak on what state you're in. But there's not, okay, it is against the terms and services of a sports book for you and a buddy to bet together, meaning you hand him $100, and you're like, hey, man, I want to bet on LeBron James over tonight. And he says, I want to bet on LeBron's over tonight too. And you hand him $100 to bet it, and he bets it, and you guys split the winnings. There is nothing illegal about that. Now, is it against terms of services? Yes. And is it way more complicated than that at the end of the day? Yes. But allow that to be my example to you, and then you kind of figure it out from there, right? You're in Louisiana, so and your friend doesn't have to be sitting next to you. Your friend doesn't have to be in the same state. And what else I would encourage you to do is just get on to your favorite ChatGPT, Grok, Gemini, whatever, and maybe just ask a few questions about how betting partnerships work. That's what I would do. And I'm going to speak vaguely. So that's what I have for you there. Any other requests? They don't have to be about this slate. I'm always trying to drop gambling knowledge on you guys. So you guys are asking really good questions. Anything else you guys have questions about? If not, we'll get a recap in and we'll get the slate done. If you're just now popping in, I know we got some people just now popping in. Everything I've played is down at the bottom. If you want me to go over anything in these two games, feel free to ask now. I am waiting on a few things. I'm praying Shea drops, and I might run that Luka triple-double. I might run a De'Aaron Fox double-double. Anything? I'll give you all about 30 seconds for any requests because I know YouTube be behind. And then we'll get up out of here right at an hour. All right. I don't see anything new coming in. Let's recap and get out of here. Luka Doncic over 50.5 PRAs, 51.5 still playable, 52.5 a little more, probably lean off at 52.5. Chet Holmgren over 17.5 points. That's painted. Colin Gillespie over 2.5 3-pointers made. Play that 2-150. It was moving while we were on stream. DeAndre Ayton over 13.5 points. That was painted as well. Let me double check, make sure there was nothing else I released this morning. No, we're good. All right. I do appreciate y'all for tapping in. Appreciate all the likes, all the retweets. I will be back tomorrow at noon. God willing, I am getting a really nasty snowstorm where I live, so we might be out of power, but knock on wood, hopefully we're good to go. And shout outs to my guy, Hungry Dogs. And did I get this other guy? Random Life. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. All right, I'm out of here. Best of luck today. Catch y'all tomorrow. Until then, man, let's go.